Hi Uyie, this is your English second quarter exam, okay? And I'm gonna ask you about the books you've read in English, okay? So that's Little Women, King Arthur, Age of Fable, mm, and there's one Amistad, and there's one book that is not in the book list of LLH, but um, you were interested in it.
Everyone
Okay.
was.
Everyone was. Okay. So let's talk about that too. The book of Victor Hugo. Okay. So let's start with Little Women. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Describe how each sister, Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy, faces her own challenges or responsibilities.
Starting with
Whoever.
um Meg in a chapter or Meg. I think how she um faces her responsibilities. Um, I think she just tries to do it, but sometimes she doesn't really want to, but she does it anyways. But um, and I think Joe, she also does it, but
Mhm.
yeah, as well. But Amy, I think she does. She sometimes also complains. I think because she's also the youngest, and she doesn't really want to do it sometimes. Well, most actually, I think all the March girls, they all don't really want to do it. Sometimes they like almost all the time. They sometimes complain, but they grow to just deal with it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what their mother says.
Are you, who do you identify with the most?
What does identify mean?
Who do you relate with the most?
Amy,
Why?
because she sometimes complains like me, and I don't want to do it.
Well, it's a good first step that you recognize that complaining is not such a good thing. And are you willing to change that behavior?
Maybe.
I'm also a complainer, really, so I guess it's really just hard to not complain, right? But what we could develop is the habit of gratitude, okay? Seeing the good things instead of the bad things, okay? All right, next. Retell the most memorable event from the chapters that you've read in your own words. Describe what happened and why it stood out to you.
I think it's Joe meets up all again
Okay, why?
because that's when Joe and Amy gets mad at each other. So Joe, wait, um, Lori, he invited Meg and Joe to come with him, I think this theater or movie, or I think it's just a theater, and to um to watch with him. So Amy wanted to go as well because she was really bored in the house. But then Joe didn't want Amy to go, and fought with her about it. And Amy got really upset. Um, so when so she just like Joe and Meg were about to go, and Joe just left her crying there, and she was crying so much that she couldn't go. and she then she said to herself, you will regret this, Joe March, that you ever didn't want to make me come. And then when Joe was already watching, she saw like one character that had like gold locks, and it reminded her of Amy, and she kind of felt bad for her. So then when she came back, she was so happy that she went to watch with Lori and Meg. But then she went to get her manuscript, like her book that she was writing, and then she said, who got my book? Who took my book? Beth, Amy, what happened? And then Beth said, no, I didn't do it. And then Amy didn't answer. And then she said, Amy, it was you. Where did you put it? And then she said, I don't even know where it is. And then she said, where did you put it? And then she said, I threw it in the fire and it's already burnt. And then Joe got so angry at her. She started saying, you horrible child. Why would you do that? That's you wicked girl. Why would you do that? So then Joe said, I will never forgive you ever again. And then she left her. And then Amy also felt bad. So then she talked to Meg, and Meg said, just try to comfort her sometimes, but anyways, just leave her. She will get mad at you more. So then Lori, he invited Joe to go Joe invited Lori to go ice skating so she can cheer herself up. So then Amy said to Joe, she can never forgive me anymore. And then Meg said, how about you say sorry to her and hug her when she in ice skating? Just say sorry to her. Maybe she'll cheer up already. And then she said, okay, I'll do that. So then when Joe was already at ice skating, Amy followed, and then while she was putting on her ice skate, Lori tried skating around and seeing if there's any raw ice that might probably break. So then he said, we have to go around, don't go in the middle, it's dangerous, you might fall, the ice might break in the middles. But Joe heard that, but Amy didn't hear that. So then she had a devil on her shoulder saying, just leave her there, she didn't even know. And then she started skating, and then Amy started skating to go with to go with Joe. So then she was in the middle, and then when the next thing she knew, she heard ice breaking and crashing and screaming, and Lori and she wanted to go and save her, but she was stuck, and like Joe wanted to save her, but then Lori already skated past her, and then he said bring a rail to pull her up, and then she didn't know what to do. She just followed what Lori said, and then caught her up, but Amy was like more scared than hurt. So then she got they put her warm in the fire, like in their home, like getting warmed up, and she was trembling and she was crying. And then Joe talked to her mother. They call her Marmy for some reason. And so then she said, it's my horrible temper, that's why it's my horrible temper that made Amy fall into into the eyes because Amy and Joe both had horrible tempers. So she talked to her mom about it, and but Mommy said, "Do you know what made me more patient? It was your father. He never got mad at anyone. So that's where I got it. You should also follow that example." So they both tried. So Joe tried to also have patience most of the time.
Okay, that's great. That's great retelling. All right. Another question on Little Women. Imagine you are Joe, torn between her independence and the changes around her. Have you reached that part yet?
What does that mean, though?
And being independent is, like, for example, when I left you all by yourself in the house yesterday while I went to work, and I'm trying to teach you how to be independent. You can move around the house without adult supervision, and you'll be okay. You can take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? Have you reached this part yet?
What chapter is that?
Okay. If you haven't reached that part yet, then it's alright. Okay. Oh, also, Shakespeare, I forgot. Okay, so let's go to Shakespeare, okay? Tell me the play that one of Shakespeare's plays that you've read, and tell me the ending because you've already finished it.
Comedy of Errors?
Yes.
Comedy of Errors? Okay, so at the end, okay. So the Antipholus of Syracuse, he appeared and out of another house. But Antipholus of Ephesus, he was already in the he was in the abbey, but that was those two different places. So Adriana was very confused and said, why is my husband there and now there? So then Antipholus of Syracuse, he said the story what happened to the Duke, and suddenly the abbess, she also came, and also Aegeon, he also was there, and the abbess came with Antipholus of Ephesus and Syracuse, and also said that they are already okay. But then she saw Aegeon, that about did you ever have a wife called Emilia? And then he said yes, and then the abbess said that she was Emilia, and Aegeon was so happy, and then they hugged, and then everyone figured everything out, that Antipholus of Ephesus was the husband of Adriana, so they came back together. And then Antipholus of Syracuse said that to Luciana that he loved her, and then they went together. And then the two Dromios, they also got along, and everyone knew which is which, and they wouldn't get confused anymore. And the two Dromios would receive no more beatings.
What about the dad, Ijeon?
He went with Amelia.
What about the penalty?
Oh yeah. They wouldn't believe him when he said that Antipholus and Dromio were Antipholus was his son. But they wouldn't believe it because wait, what? Oh wait. Wait, what? I'm confused now.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm confused.
So what happened? Try to
Summarize it.
summarize it. What happened to Ijeon? Was he able to pay the penalty?
Yes.
How? Did he use his own money?
I think everyone did. Paid for him.
So did he die at the end?
No.
Oh, alright. What do you think about Comedy of Errors?
It was good and it was confusing, and I don't really know how to narrate it anymore because it was so hard.
Yes. But you're gonna watch it and you're gonna act it out.
When?
Next co-op meeting.
You mean Magdio and Custer?
Okay? Alright, next. Age of Fable. Okay? Retell the story of Daedalus and Icarus as if you were telling it to someone who has never heard it.
Okay, so once upon a time, there was a man. He was called Daedalus and
Daedalus?
Daedalus. Daedalus, and he was the builder of King Minos' labyrinth. The one labyrinth. And Rinth. That Theseus went in, and he was thrown into the dungeon. It was a tower that he went in with his son Icarus, and they wanted to escape, but they couldn't go on land because there were soldiers. They couldn't go in the sea because there was there was also I think ships that would guard it, but they could go on air, but they didn't know how to do that. So since Daedalus, he was a builder. He got feathers of a bird. He also got some wax and sticks, and then he built it all together to make wings, so his son could fly with him. So he built 2 wings, and then before they flew, he told his son, don't go very very low, because that will mean that you would go very low and go into the water and you'd hit something and you'd drown. Don't go too high, because the sun will melt the wax, and then you'd fall down into the sea and drown. You follow me and go into the middle, okay? So then he said yes. So then when they were flying together, he was following his father, but then they were both flying, and then Icarus, he suddenly flew too high, and then the sun melted his the wax, and then he fell and drowned to the sea. And then he said he tried to find his son, and then he said to himself, and then he got so sad And what happened next? Yeah, he was very sad that happened.
Okay. Alright. Reflect on the lesson Daedalus tried to teach Icarus before they took flight. Why do you think it was so difficult for Icarus to remember it?
Oh, maybe he was nervous and scared.
Okay.
And maybe he was probably having fun already with the flight or something.
Describe Daedalus's feelings as he built the wings. What do you think he was most afraid of or hopeful for?
I think he was afraid of like maybe his son would also die or he would die as well. But he was hopeful that they would actually escape the prison. I mean the dungeon.
Alright. Can you tell me the last chapter that you've read on Amistad?
I think it was when they already killed killed the captain. Well, that was the last chapter, but it was the same chapter, I think. But they killed Captain Ferrer, Raymond, and they're trying to escape already, and they're trying to go back to their homeland,
Which is?
Africa, and they're trying, but they don't know, and they're already filing all the chains. I think he was the one who's filing it, but he let someone else do it so they could. Because he was also the one who knew. He was also the one who also knew how to handle the ship because he also observed it while they were already going to be slaves already, and they he was also a chainsmith. What's it? Blacksmith. And he was also gonna help Sinke with the handling the ship, and all of them were trying to be were already. I think they were already starting to go and get out of there, get out of America.
All right. What's next? What about King Arthur? Tell me about or retell the last chapter that you've read in King Arthur.
Oh, so King Arthur is, I think, he's now called the the Knight of the Parrot, because he got this parrot because he won a fight, and that parrot is actually very, very wise as well. So King Arthur, he had this fight. He had to do in the medieval times they always had to fight to win something. So he also had those fights, and he didn't really reveal himself as the king of Britain. And I think, what's her name again? She started with letter O, but I think she said she was the I think one of the organizers of the fight, and she said whoever wins this fight will get a kiss from I forgot her name. Oh wait, O'Rail, and she and King Arthur already won the fight. I think it was from I think he won against like an evil knight. And because King Arthur also got lots of bruises and wounds, and so many wounds from the fight. I don't know why they fight though. So then he already got healed, and then he got won the fight and got the kiss from Oreo, and yeah.
Next question.
When's Les Mis?
Yeah, it's gonna go there. Okay. This quarter, he suddenly got interested in the novel of Victor Hugo. One of the novels of Victor Hugo is called Les Mis, or Les Miserables. It's actually French, but of course, you read about and even watched the English version. Okay? Can you tell me?
I keep turning it off.
I know. Can you tell me, or summarize, or tell me, who are the characters of Les Mis?
Okay. So there's Jean Valjean, Javert, and Fantine, Cosette, Marius. I think also Marius has friends, but there's too many. And Gavroche, Eponine. Who else? The Thénardiers. Yeah.
What is Les Mis about?
It's about the first it's about the miserable people, and also about the French Revolution.
Why is it? Why were they miserable? Were they really miserable? Why?
Because Jean Valjean, he was the one who was a convict. He everyone treated him very badly, but he went to jail just because he stole one loaf of bread to save his sister's child.
Yeah. And what was the punishment for that?
20 years.
20 years of...
Staying in prison.
Oh my goodness. That's not fair.
But Sophie said in the book that it was supposed to be 5 years, but another 5 years he tried to escape. So then he went another 5 years. It was supposed to be originally 5 years, but he kept escaping, and that made him stay in jail longer.
Why do you think he wanted to escape?
Because he wanted to get out of jail, and he hated being treated like that.
Okay. So, tell me about your favorite character.
Which is my favorite character? Maybe either Marius, Eponine, or Jean Valjean.
Why?
Because Jean Valjean, he turned nice because he turned mayor, and he broke parole, and he actually helped Fantine, and like she was also miserable, and he also saved he also like took care of Cosette and her Fantine's daughter, and he took her in, like Cosette was his own daughter, and he adopted her from the evil Thénardiers. The Thénardiers, they are the foster parents of Cosette that are very, very cruel and crooks and mean to Cosette. And actually, they're the parents of Eponine and Gavroche.
Oh, okay.
And then, so that's why I like Jean Valjean. And I like Marius because she's an interesting character in the French Revolution and in Cosette's life.
Why is he interesting? Why do you find him interesting?
Sometimes because of the songs, and also
In the musical.
but also because he really wanted to he loved Cosette as well, and he became the husband of Cosette. But I like also Eponine because she's also an interesting character. But even though Marius loved Cosette and Cosette loved Marius, but Marius loved Marius, but Marius wanted Eponine to be his friend only. And Eponine, I also like her songs.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. You did a play, a Les Mis adaptation, and you used Hot Wheels as the characters of the book. Okay, can you show it to me? Hot Wheels version of Les Mis. Wow! How did you do that?
I used Procreate.
You used Procreate, okay, and then?
And I added pictures, and then I kind of erased some of the sides.
That's so neat.
So this is Javert, and this is Jean Valjean, and this is Fantine, and this is Cosette, and this is Marius. And I added the actors of the Hot Wheels that were playing. I used them, and I just used the barricades and like some places.
Amazing. What are the buildings on each four corners? Oh, okay.
I don't know. When I said Les Mis sets, and then it just showed these. And I also saw this in the background of sometimes. And this is I think this is the ABC. I mean, this is where the friends of the ABC, like the friends of Marius met, like the ones when they sang. Yeah.
It's so nice. I really am very impressed by it.
Like
You did that on Procreate.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, great. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.